5 steps to become an amazing digital nomad. Today we have Eric Dingler, which is the founder of Intranit Studios. And then we have this amazing question based in his background. He spent 4 years traveling the world as a digital nomad with his wife and 14. Oh, the whole family. Wow. A feat made possible not just by laptop, but by a high performing team. Wow. With over 25 years of experience leading teams since the age of 24, Eric realized that the most entrepreneurs aren't held back by a lack of effort, but by a capacity ceiling. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us, Eric, what are the 5 steps then to become a very good digital nomad?
Welcome to Entrepreneurs Are Leaders podcast with Harry Sardinas. Interviews with world's most influential entrepreneurs that share tips about how to grow your business exponentially. Charismatic speaking, leadership, branding, marketing strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.
So this is great. This is the first time, Harry, I've ever been asked this question. So I am really excited to unpack this. So I think the 5 steps from my perspective after somebody that's done it is, first off, you need to, if you have a family, you got to make sure everybody's on the same page. You got to make sure everybody is ready for this, understand the pros and the cons. You're not on perpetual vacation. So if your family has done a lot of vacations, they may think that this lifestyle is that. You got to decide what it's going to look like for you, get everybody on the same page. That's step number 1. And then number 2, you've got to figure out how you're going to have income. How are you going to fund this? Now, to be honest, Harry, our lifestyle for the 6 of us isn't any more expensive than it was when we lived in the United States. What we did is we just took our budget from the United States, and that's the budget we lived on around the world. So, for example, we spend about $2,000 a month in the United States for shelter. That's our, it could be a rent or mortgage, the utilities, all the stuff to have a house. Well, that was our budget as we've traveled the world, which means in places like Peru, we had a house with a swimming pool on the roof and a gardener and a housekeeper, and that was great. Then in other places of the world, it meant we were in crammed into a 2-bedroom little apartment where some of us had to sleep on the couch. So we budget the same, but changed our lifestyle accordingly. And so getting used to that idea, I think, is helpful. But you've got to figure out how you're going to fund that. How are you going to have a source of income? Remote works are good, but that company could change their mind at any time. Personally, I think owning your own business is the way to go about it. Then the next one, you got to study and do some research. There's implications of taxes, which can be really, really good. Some place, there's visa laws and things like that. So, find somebody to talk to, do some study and research. 4th, take a test trip. This is huge. Don't just jump into this. My family and I, we did a 3-month test trip to Istanbul, Turkey. And so it was during that test trip. And so most of it was in Istanbul, and then we spent a few weeks traveling around Eastern Europe. But that test trip was the key for the success because we were able to go back home, make adjustments, sold almost everything we own, put a few things in storage. Other people keep everything they own and rent out their house. There's no right or wrong answer to that. Just do what works for your family. For us, it was just selling everything. And then go. That's it. I mean, the last one is, it sounds ridiculous, but you just got to go. I can't tell you, Harry, how many times I've talked to people and they're like, oh, one day. Well, you know what? Make one day tomorrow. Like, just make one day tomorrow and just get out there and do it. So I think those are the steps I would encourage people to consider.
So I've been in Peru. We're doing the conference. I speak all over the world, mainly in Dubai, Mexico, Peru, Singapore, London, and so also United States. And Peru is amazing. The food. What happened to me? I was doing a speaking tour in Peru. In COVID came, and we same like you described. They took up speakers to a big house. It was an amazing experience, and we were there 111 days. They sent
Oh,
us a
wow.
lot of plane to rescue us. We didn't want to be rescued because in London, and everybody was inside the house. Where in Peru, we are outside. We could go. It was a compound. It was the thing about Peru is that it has different seasons, so you can find apple, grapes, and mango, and avocado. So I love it, traveling. However, it is how you can have a full-time online business today. How you decided to how you package, and I love this idea because I used to move a lot, right? So for me, I only need a laptop and internet connection, and I'm fine. Yeah, I can follow things with this from even Spain. But
Right.
a lot of people are afraid. Man, it's important what you said about the budget because you will know, but sometimes with your same budget the United States, you can be in other countries like Vietnam, Peru, you name it, and you live like a king.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, without the
Very true.
stress being driving, without the stress, and if you look if you work with the seasons also, okay, like for example, Middle East, right? It's so much cheaper because you're gonna be in a hotel with a pool, who cares, right? And because you're moving time, you play with the season also, and you can live in different countries as long as fast internet. That's the only challenge. So Eric, tell us how you decided to design this business to be your business. I think to run your family, if this was the easiest part. So who doesn't want to go for a holiday trip for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So, or but tell us how you did this business.
Well, how did we decide to do it? Was that your question?
No, how you catch the business? Because in
Oh,
order
the
for you
the
to have, so what happened first? Do you
yeah,
design
the
a
business.
100% online business and then you decide to travel, or you guys decide to travel and after you say, okay, we want to travel for 4 years, we need to have a business that is 100% that I can move around. So
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So no, that's really good. We just kind of stumbled into it. I'm an accidental CEO. I didn't mean to start a web design agency. My wife and I at the time, I was actually, several years ago, I was pastoring a local church. And my wife and I we had two children, and we felt like the next thing for us to do was adopt. We just felt that was, something we were being called to do. And so we needed to raise about $50,000 to fund our adoption. And I was like, how am I going to do that on a fixed, income, a salary? And I knew how to build websites. And so I started building websites as a fundraiser. And 2 years later, I had just learned all this stuff as time went along and learned about monthly recurring revenue and how to do care packages. And, and I had, at the end of 2 years, I had a little business and a team, and we decided to just keep doing that. And so my wife and I, we actually wanted to help families adopt. So we started a nonprofit and then focused on the business, growing the business to fund a nonprofit. And then through all of it, we were going to buy a house. We were about to buy this big, beautiful house. And we needed to wait about 4 months. And we were like, well, what are we going to do while we wait? And we said, well, we've always thought about traveling full time. But we don't think it's practical. It's probably not going to work, but let's just do a test trip and see how a couple months go. 6 weeks into Istanbul, and we were hooked. All me, my wife, our 4 kids, we were all like, "This is
Istanbul
exactly."
is amazing. Turkey is
Oh,
amazing, and the
we
price
love
also.
it.
The price
Yeah,
also is good.
Price is good. The culture is amazing. The people are fantastic. I mean, it's
Drinking
just
tea all the time. Yeah.
everybody, everywhere tea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can buy
everywhere
in
tea.
the bay. You get fish. They will fish it and give it to you straight away with the bread.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
I
right there.
don't
We
remember
sat,
how.
sat on Galata Bridge and watched the fish being pulled up past us, and yeah, yeah, it was fun. Our kids loved that. They always thought the coolest thing.
And you learn. I think my mom always say that getting culture is two ways. Either you read books or you travel. I prefer to travel.
Yeah,
So I learn a
my
lot of
wife and
things
I,
because of traveling, right?
yeah. Well, my wife and I think one of the best gifts you can give your kids is a passport and help them put stamps in it. Like get out, go see the world. Our kids have just a completely different perspective on things now. Yeah, it's been amazing to watch them over the last 4 years be influenced through all of these different cultures we've lived in.
Definitely will have an impact in their life. I remember when I was young, I was living did something called it, right? So we were taking the train and for every city in Europe, right? We were doing we're so broke that the only thing that was for free was to see the church. So probably I've been in all the churches of Europe, right? Because it was the only thing that was free. So and then we were. I think our budget was ridiculous, like 30 $30 per day, something like that. So we had to. We were very young, but this trip showed me that there are different cultures, that there are different opportunities, that there are different countries, and then when I started to work in Spain, I didn't like it that much because they pay fixed is not enough and it's hard to find job. And I say, you know what, I'm going to London. And I lived 20 years in London, you see, I built my first business in London, everything there. But I knew what was out there. And I think I know a lot of people from US that they never get out of US. And I understand it's a great country, it's huge. And you guys have everything here. If you go to Miami, you have the beach and it's easy to travel within your country because you don't have to change currency and everything, honestly. So tell us the benefits of what is good and what is not good about traveling only US or traveling around the world.
Well, it's an interesting question. We're actually in the process of immigrating to the UK. We're going to start in Liverpool.
Oh, I have a lot of friends there.
Yeah, we love Liverpool. We've 6 months there last year and decided that's where we want to go and sit down roots. Help our kids are 13, 15, 17, 18, and so help them get jobs and get out independent and living on their own. And then my wife and I, we want to retire and live.
Oh,
and
really? Very good. Yeah, I love London. London is magic.
Yes, it's one of our favorite places. And one of the reasons that's drawn us to there is because in the United States, yes, we can jump on a plane and in 4 hours be somewhere else in the United States. But if you jump on a plane, fly for 4 hours from London, you can be in Istanbul, Egypt, Spain, Finland, Switzerland, Croatia. It's that you're in such a different place. We're in the United States, it's still just the United States. And we're not fleeing the United States. We're not running away from it. We love the United States. But also in England, I mean, you can get anywhere on a train.
It's very go from London to US anyway, because I've been in the airport in London and I have seen 3 planes at the same time leaving to United States from 3 different companies.
Yeah. So it's just it's just much cheaper. It's much cheaper to travel.
US to London, but US to London also very cheap to UK.
Yeah.
You have lots of options. Okay, so how this is set in a way that and what I have done, which I think is that you have a lifestyle business, and we were checking the statistics the other day, and 86% of the entrepreneurs don't make more than 100,000 a year, right? And so sometimes people say, well, it's better to have a job because at least I'm off on the weekend. And so now we are the other that make more than $100,000 a year. There are the 14% left. However, you can be in the bracket, okay, where you have an amazing lifestyle business because I have those ones, okay, and sometimes you don't need to be a multi-millionaire. You don't need to have a decision. For me, it's more fulfilling, or maybe for you as well, to give this. How much is it worth to you give this benefit to your kids, to that experience that they have been traveling different, they know that this country, different people, different cultures, and how that will be the impact that they will have in the future, the vision, because they have a global vision. And when they do a business, when they do anything in life, they're gonna be aware. I went to live in London because the world was out there. Otherwise, I would be living my whole life in Spain.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I knew what was out there, and because I knew, and it was the best decision ever. I built my business with a million, then over 5 million in property business. I opened restaurant in Drake Lane. I did good successes and a lot of failures to take all of us, and enjoy all the way. So, Eric, how do you think that way of you conducting your business as a lifestyle, for what do you have for entrepreneurs that they create themselves rather than a lifestyle business, a job, and a job that they cannot enjoy? They would like to do like this, but they literally cannot do it because of the business that they decided to be, right?
Yeah. Well, for us, I still work hard. So I still work hard. We're not on perpetual vacation. We just, in 4 years, we lived in 55 different Airbnbs in 20 countries.
Wow. Wow, that's
But our
spectacular.
life, our life didn't look a lot different week to week. Monday to Friday, we'd get up, I'd work, my wife would teach our kids. Now, if we were in Peru, Bulgaria, or Istanbul, we would go out to dinner. Because our food budget is $2,000 a month. Yeah. And in Bulgaria, we can eat out every night for dinner and lunch. Fine. We're in London,
And
we're
in
eating
Spain
cheese
also.
and tomato sandwiches.
Oh, in London, I need to show you a few tricks.
Okay, good.
I have to show you a few tricks in UK. Yeah.
Well, we don't eat out every night. We're in London, and so it just really
Spain is good.
It depends.
Spain is good.
Spain,
In the
yeah,
south.
Spain is great.
It's good.
Yeah. So our day to day, it's the four walls we were within changed. But I would work, my wife would teach our kids, we'd hang out in the evening. But then on the weekends, we would go out and see things, or in the evening, we would go out for a walk, and we'd part of this. We'd, in Paris, my gosh, in the evening, we could sit at the Eiffel Tower on a blanket and just talk with our kids. And then 2 weeks later, we'd be in the Amazon jungle, completely, spending 10 days in the Amazon jungle, and then we could be in Costa Rica a couple weeks after that in the cloud forest. I mean, we got to experience all these things, but we did it on $100,000 a year. We took our budget from pre-business owner, we took our budget and we just kept that as our budget over 4 years. Now, could we have brought home more and done different and stuff like that? Yeah, we could have. But I was investing into my company. I was investing into my team. You could totally do this as a business of one. There's a whole business of one movement and stuff like that. And some people wear that as a badge of honor. I like employing people. I like helping people find purpose and meaning and work they enjoy. And I give them a good salary so then they can do things with their families. Like I I'm more excited about that as a business owner than probably anything. I love serving our clients. That's great. Our customers are wonderful, but I couldn't do that if I didn't have my team. To me, that's the most exciting thing. So yeah, so it's just that's how we did it. The business benefited by just, me experiencing. In fact, in my agency, we completely, about 2 years into our experience, we completely pivoted how we delivered our services. I developed a framework because I became a perpetual first-time customer. Because every time we moved, we needed a new barber, we needed eye doctor, we needed, where we were going to get groceries, we needed, everything. Well, movie theater, we literally was constantly becoming every bit, businesses a first-time customer. Where most people, when you live rooted, once you find your grocery store, that's your grocery store. Once you find your dentist, that's your dentist. You're not going and looking again, unless something changes. Well, since we were constantly changing places every few weeks to a couple months, I started noticing patterns of why did that business get my money? That business, I just walked by 2 barber shops to get to this one. Why? What did they do? And I started reverse engineering all of my experiences, noticed a pattern, and we built a marketing framework that is now the core of our marketing framework that we do for clients. And so we wouldn't have got to that point if it wasn't for our traveling. So your traveling experiences can definitely have a major impact on your business in a good way. But you still got to work hard and do the right things. And we just happened to do it. And so we kept our life we live out of carry-on luggage. That's it. Everybody had a carry-on backpack and a personal backpack. That was our worldly possessions that we traveled with. And so
amazing to travel light, right?
Oh yeah, we could arrive at an Airbnb, and within 35, 45 minutes, it was like we'd always been there. Like we just had a routine. Everybody did a certain room. Everybody had, we just got into a rhythm, and then we could pack up and leave an hour and a half, 2 hours. Sometimes longer if we had to do laundry and stuff like that. So we would do the day before. We would prep. That was prep day. And so we did laundry and got to up, donated. We would have leftover food. We would find some place to donate it to. Let's say we were in a cold weather environment. We were going to a warm weather environment. Well, we might donate some of our warm clothes that we picked up while we were there. So we would do that on prep day. And then on packing day and moving day, we'd get up in the morning. Everybody would pack in about an hour. And we'd be in an Uber on the way to the airport, or to the train station, or to catch a ferry or a bus. We've crossed borders on an airplane. We've gone over borders on a ferry. We've walked across from one country to another. We've taken a bus over. We've driven in a car. We've crossed international borders so many different ways. So travel days always look different.
So, and then Eric, I interviewed someone in this podcast that he called himself executive nomad. So basically, he's an executive, but in what he's involved, he's always on the move, right? He working on the move. So, Eric, this is what I find out is positive for business is that when I'm stuck, when I want to find a solution on the business, every time that I travel, I can be stuck in London, like for example, 6 months, I want to solve something. And then I want to solve this. And then I go to Dubai, I change the environment, and in 10 days we are stuck. Changing the environment, it works very good for me in terms of my business. It's opened my mind. As soon as I see a different landscape, I see a different view, and it changed the whole dynamic, right? So
Yes.
you can see, I think it's because the brain, they see the same thing all the time, or maybe it can lead you to stress, but if you change in country, there is a new excitement. There is something that to look for, that it could be a challenge. Well, food is, we have to improvise. So your brain is always in a different, in solution focus, and
Yeah, that's
in an
true.
adventure, this is what is, it's an adventure where you have to be all focused. You don't know what is gonna appear. Like for example, Eric, how you embracing the challenges with AI lately and your business? Does it have a positive impact, negative impact? Things are moving so fast. The speed that believe how fast things are moving and how business are changing. You remember how we used to do this website with HTML and those database and everything, and now you see things out there, and it's very impressive. So
Yeah.
tell us what the good, the bad, or the ugly of the AI developments in your industry.
Yeah. Well, the bad is trying to keep up with it because that's just so challenging. The good is from working 40 hours in a week to producing the same amount of output, in 25 hours a week. And so now they've increased their capacity. And it's not all, the answer isn't always to do more. So one of the things that my wife and I decided to do with our company about 18 months ago, with all the emerging AI and everything, is we made the decision that we would never replace an employee with AI. We want to be, but I love providing people. I love it when one of my a virtual break room, and our team will share pictures in there from their life and stories and things like that. And like somebody will go in and they'll share pictures from their kid's birthday party. Like one of our guys, last fall he had their kids. It was their son's first birthday party, and he posted a bunch of pictures, and they were so proud, and they should have been. He's got a great little family, very young family. And I looked at all the stuff going on, and I was impacted by it personally, because I thought we did the financial means for all of that. Like all that stuff they're having, the party venue, the food, like we made that possible because we created something, and he became part of that, and he's an integral part of it. And so we decided we're never going to replace our team with AI, but I want my team to embrace AI. And here's the thing. Now that my team knows, now that they know they're never gonna lose their job to AI, they're to embrace it,
because more productive. I think that the AI, what it's gonna make is the people more productive. So it's an increase in productivity. I'm also against right before this podcast, I'm having a meeting with my team relating AI, and we're sharing the same thing that you just discussed. I'm telling, look here, no one is going anywhere. Whatever we have to do is become more productive with this thing. So I want you.
Well, what we're doing,
all of you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what we're doing is we're trying to figure out yet, and we haven't talked to the team about it yet. But we're trying to figure out, like, okay, do we want to leverage AI so we can become a 4-day-a-week business and give all of our employees 3 days off a week instead of 2? Do we want to use AI so everybody gets an extra 2 hours a day off? So my wife and I were trying to figure that out, but we're not going to cut their salaries. Like, what an amazing time to live in, where we can say, hey, guess what? We all get to make just as much money as we did 6 months ago, but you're going to cut 20% off of your work week, but I'm going to pay you the same because you're being productive and creative and you're a part of this. And I think that's a really, to me, that's the most exciting thing about
it. Have become easier. I was thinking, we're talking about AI agents with my team. I said, guys, you see, this is amazing. You don't need to, now you talk with the team do the job for you. So
yes,
before you have to do it yourself.
What can you do? But now what can you do? So Harry, I coach.
I think in the future, we make the future job for them. I have a conversation with my team and say, guys, your job is gonna be easy. Before you have to do all this, and you have to research, and you have to do this, and you have to open all this software and everything. Now you talk with the thing. The thing works for you. You tell them what to do. The thing will do it. And you now become the boss of and the thing do the job, and they have to do it wanted and whatever. So it's like every employee now soon is gonna become a don't manage most of the job, and something else is gonna do the job, which is spectacular and a great increase in productivity. Now, the one that don't embrace AI, what we are seeing, Eric, is that it's not going to be job for anybody because the companies, if you become less productive, then we're going to have a challenge there. That makes
Yeah.
So, Eric, if someone is in love with this conversation, how people can find you, how this process work, if somebody's inspired for what you say and want to travel the world, I want to have an online business and want some guidance, I'm your biggest fan. I'm rooting for you big time. I'm kind of the same. I learned something from you today that I need to change country faster, right?
There you go.
I go to Mont, we go to Mont Singapore, to Mont to, and I do the conference, right? So we do, when we do the conferences, if we have a conference in Peru, we go 1 month early and 1 month after, right?
Yeah.
And then we do the talk because as we plan for 1 month after because technically you have to do the conference with people, you have to some things, and then before also to prepare to see the room to whatever. It's always an excuse to be out, but I think that I love your model a lot because wow, that was a lot. 20, how many countries?
20. We did 20 countries in 4 years. 55 cities in 20 countries in 4 years.
Wow, spectacular. Yeah. Tell us your 10 favorites before you go. It was
Favorite?
good. Your 10 favorites.
Oh, my 10 favorite. Oh, okay. Thank you for giving me
food. I like the eating out side. So if you can include those you put it out, 10 favorites.
So the Amazon jungle, that was amazing.
Oh, wow.
We were 10 days and we flew into a little in Iquitos, there was internet, but there was no internet. There was no internet when we left.
The wine that's in Peru, right? Iquitos.
Iquitos.
I'm there to give a conference there.
Okay. Well, then we got on a boat. We got on a boat in Iquitos and the Amazon River, and we were out there for 10 days. No internet for 10 days. My business could have crashed and I would have known for 10 days, but I had a great team. I trusted my team and it was fine. They worked just like they should have. So it was great. One amazing experience. We fished for piranha. We saw all kinds of animals. Amazing. Paris. We love Paris and getting baguettes every day. We eat so much bread when we're in Paris. I mean, baguettes every day. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's so good. Bulgaria is a great country. We love Bulgaria. The Colosseum. So my kids,
the whole Italy, the whole Italy is amazing.
All of us have gotten used to. We'll go and like our youngest son, he'll go now. Is this famous because it should be famous, or is it famous because it's famous? Like. We've been to the Louvre a couple times and the Mona Lisa. My kids are just like, the Mona Lisa, okay, we saw it, but it's actually not that impressive. The Mona Lisa is famous. The story behind it, it became famous. Rome, the Colosseum was one of those places that we saw that didn't disappoint. I mean, it was phenomenal. Argentina.
Oh, wow, they've been there.
Oh, Mendoza, Argentina. Best wine I've ever had anywhere. The wine in Argentina.
Argentina wine is very good.
Yes,
it's very good.
And then we took an overnight bus. We slept on a bus. It was amazing. We loved it. We took a 22-hour bus ride way far south, way down the southern part of Argentina.
It used to be cheap. People said that it become expensive in Argentina.
Oh no, I didn't think we didn't find it that way. Now the city we went to town.
But the tape.
Oh, The asada. Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. We went to a little called Bariloche and rented e-bikes and rode our bikes through the Patagonia mountain. And oh my gosh, that was a phenomenal experience. Istanbul, Galata, part of the time we slept on the Asia side. Part of it we slept in Europe. Most people don't know that Istanbul sits on two continents.
It's the border. It's the border.
Yeah, it's the only city that does that in the world.
Asia started there, actually.
That's absolutely.
This is where the Asian continent started.
Oh, it's the history there. The history. But oh my goodness, the food. Galata Tower. There's this place, Galata Tower Doner. Best doner kebab I've had anywhere in the world. And we've eaten a lot of doner. We've got a lot of in England. I mean, it's everywhere, but
in England, everywhere.
Yeah, there's a place in London called Doner Bros. We love that. Anyway,
invited to be 2 months in Istanbul. Yeah, one of our clients is an owner of a large chain of supermarkets, and I was talking to him and saying, "Harry, why you don't come a couple of months here to Istanbul and see what?"
Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea. Well, let me know. I'll go with you. And we'll do some.
I love it there. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So those are how many that was, but those were some of our favorite places.
Okay, Eric, one more time, how people can find you, how the process can find you, the social media, if they want to be live for your website service, how people find you, how the process works.
The best place, the only social media I'm active on is LinkedIn. So I'm only on LinkedIn there. But ericdingler.com. And just go with my name, ericdingler.com. It's just a list there of all the places people can, connect with me, resources I've got. I do own a marketing agency, and that's amazing. We love that. The coaching I provide is I have people that have started a business. They're the technician of the business. So they're selling a service and doing all the work to fulfill it. They're CEO, chief everything officer. And they need to hire, but they have all of these misunderstandings about hiring. They're scared of it. They've did it in the past. It didn't work. They think they got to hire full time. They think it's going to be expensive. They think they have to get everything ready before they hire. All of these myths are false. And so I coach people to get their business set up to be able to somebody and start building a team, because I tell you, it's the changer. It's the game changer.
Eric, thank you so much. It's been fantastic. And for all of you following the podcast, our next episode of Entrepreneurs, at least how great entrepreneurs like Eric made business that made the world a better place. Bye for now.
Follow us for more on charismatic speaking, leadership, exponential business growth, branding, marketing, strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.